Conor can put himself back into the grind and into that hell zone, that journey in order to see the lights. If he put himself into that zone, we're gonna have a...
We know that, you know, Conor hasn't been in the game for a long time, and I think a lot of people are thinking that he's just going to lose everything, but that's not the case. He's going to be dangerous. He's obviously going to still be very sharp, very explosive, still got a good eye. Is it the exact eye that he had when he was, you know, double champ and doing what he was doing? No, probably not, but still going to be very
raw one-punch knockout power. Of course you got to give that to McGregor, right? That left hand is phenomenal, whether it's an uppercut, a straight left, whatever it is. It'll put people to sleep, and certainly at 170 pounds, when McGregor's going to naturally be the big...
As UFC 329 draws closer, as UFC 329 approaches, anticipation builds for the return of Conor McGregor, who steps back into action against Max Holloway after a 5-year absence. UFC legend Georges St-Pierre believes McGregor must rediscover the hunger and focus that defined his Mystic Mac era. St-Pierre argues that if McGregor fully recommits to the grind, his bout with Max Holloway could evolve into a truly great fight. I think it would be a great fight. I love both fighters. I love to watch them both. I'm a big fan of both. I think if Conor can put himself back into the grind and be hungry into that hell zone that you know he has to see it in a way that my Mystic Mac. We need Mystic Mac back where he's just in. Yeah. To see like he's in a tunnel but the light is after the fight. I have to go through that journey in order to see the light. But I'm not going to put myself in the light until I'm done with the fight. That's if he put himself into that zone, we're going to have a hell of a fight. It's going to be amazing. Alexander Volkanovski believes that despite his extensive layoff, McGregor still possesses significant danger, driven by his exceptional speed and explosiveness. Yet, Volkanovski anticipates McGregor will come out quickly, only for his output to potentially wane as the rounds progress, especially when facing a relentlessly active fighter such as Holloway. They're a very familiar foe of yours, Max Holloway, will be welcoming Conor McGregor back to the octagon next month. We all hope. If this fight does happen, it's at welterweight. How do you see this going? Can Conor do anything with, the fighter you're probably more familiar with than anyone in Max Holloway? Well, we know that, Conor hasn't been, in the game for a long time, and I think a lot of people are thinking that he's just going to lose everything, but that's not the case. He's going to be dangerous. He's obviously going to still be very sharp, very explosive, still got a good eye. Is it the exact eye that he had when he was, double champ and doing what he was doing? No, probably not. But still going to be very dangerous. And I know Max is going to respect that. Obviously, they're going to want to put on the show, but at the same time, you're going to know Conor will be very dangerous early. I think, Max will make the right decisions to not just, get in the fire straight away and then start to work him later in the round. So we know that, Conor again very dangerous, very explosive, but that is going to wear on you. And with that big layoff, even though he's probably training very hard, we know that that's going to eventually wear on him, and that sharpness that I reckon he still has, he's probably going to deteriorate a lot quicker, because of his been out of the game for so long. Islam Makhachev acknowledges Conor McGregor's return as a major moment in MMA. He highlights the significance of McGregor stepping back into competition directly against a proven elite contender, emphasizing the inherent challenge of facing such high-level opposition immediately. Got Conor McGregor making his return. What was your reaction when that was announced? Yeah, it's good. It's good. Big name for our sports but he have tough opponents. Max Holloway against Conor. I think Max can beat him. Dries Dupels also expressed his excitement regarding Conor McGregor's return, stating McGregor looks locked in and in strong shape during training, discussing a potential matchup with Max Holloway. Duplessis conveyed significant interest, emphasizing his respect for Holloway's skill and extensive career. Mac is back. I'm super excited. When I saw it, I got goosebumps and my boys locked in. I've heard Conor McGregor's being back 20 times over the last year. I see his training footage. He looks good. Then you have Max Holloway. I love him. I think he's an incredible fighter. Him and Holloway 13 years ago, and he had to grapple with Holloway. Conor was able to take him down and out-grapple him there. This is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a striking fight. Of course, I can't. Drawing on veteran insight, Michael Bisping pinpoints a critical distinction. The extensive layoff faced by McGregor contrasted with Holloway's relentless activity against top-tier competition. Bisping underscores that despite McGregor's undeniable danger and motivation, ring sharpness and recent experience overwhelmingly position Holloway as the favored fighter heading into this clash. July 11th, which incidentally is 3 days before Conor McGregor's 38th birthday. Okay, why not an old man, but certainly not a spring chicken by any accounts, and certainly when it comes to professional fighting. Now, you could argue that he's had 5 years away from the sport, which is true. That's 5 years of not having the wear and tear. That's 5 years of not going through training camps, 5 years of not getting punched on the face, taken down, choked out, all that kind of stuff. The wear and tear, he hasn't been going through that. The man's made an absolute fortune in and outside of the cage. So, he hasn't had to do that. He's been chasing business ventures and enjoying himself outside of the octagon. Fair play to him. That is the life that he's built. But, he's coming back, right? Max Holloway, as we know, has been very Michael Bisping further elaborated on this idea, dismissing the notion that Conor McGregor is finished. He suggested that the long layoff could prove to be either a significant disadvantage or a vital reset. The outcome, he noted, hinges on how Conor McGregor performs under pressure against a high-volume fighter like Max Holloway, particularly in the early rounds. Done washed up all the rest of it. It's not true. It's just not true. And I do believe that 5 years away from the sport, he's coming back hungry and he wants his respect. Now, there's been a lot of partying and enjoying yourself and stuff like that. As I said before, fair play. He's living his life. He's enjoying himself, but you got to get back. You got to get fit. Now, of course, when we look at the matchup, of course, Max Holloway is a striker. Conor McGregor is a striker. They both know jiu-jitsu. I mean, Charles Oliveira couldn't submit Max Holloway, so he knows what he's doing. So Max Holloway had 8 fights since Conor McGregor last 4 be fighting nothing but the best. So this is far from an easy fight for Conor McGregor, and I respect the A__A out of him for coming back at 38 years old with apparently hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank account and fighting Max Holloway that's been so active, and the fight happening at a pound 170. I do think that gives Conor a little bit of an advantage there. I think in terms of fluidity, speed, and all the rest of it, and putting combinations together, there's no one in the UFC that does that better than Max Holloway anyway. So, of course, he has the advantage there. But when it comes to raw one-punch knockout power, of course, you got to give that to McGregor, right? That left hand is phenomenal. Whether it's an uppercut, a straight left, whatever. Bisping continued his reflections, underscoring McGregor's lasting legacy and the immense global attention on his return. He anticipates an electric atmosphere in Las Vegas, predicting both fighters will command strong crowd reactions and a major promotional spotlight on Conor McGregor's career. Far from it, right? He had a sensational career, and the rise that he had, I don't think we'll ever see it. The way that he took over the sport, and to be fair, the way that he's going to take over Vegas when this fight happens, the Irish are going to come out like crazy. The Hawaiians are going to be there in style as well, because of course Vegas is the 9th island. So, there's going to be wild fan bases everywhere. The atmosphere at the T-Mar Arena will be incredible. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan asserts that Max Holloway's consistent activity against